What is going on, guys? Going to run through a quick trade review for Google today. I'm not going to go through great detail because I think this one's a pretty straightforward setup. Just going to kind of go over the thought process, entry, some higher time frame stuff like always. I do think that is it's going to be pretty quick because I think Tony and Jack also took this trade. So we'll go over that and we'll go over some kind of key ideas and reasons. So I guess I'll start with the pre-market a little bit. So we can see we've already broken all-time highs in pre-market. Google trend last couple days, pretty much straight bullish price action, making new highs every session from some previous kind of consolidation at the end of December, start of January. And taking a look at the daily chart, you can see pretty bullish price action. You can look at the 4-hour chart, still making higher highs, higher lows last couple sessions. I think this is pretty straightforward. You can go to any time frame, looks pretty solid. So really our only next area of like liquidity or even just resistance in general would be pre-market high. That is realistically kind of the only level that we can base our trades off of. So when we jump down to the low time frames and we take a look at pre-market high, we just go and mark out a level, that would be this area right here. Had it as red for resistance. So when price broke out, we can see a few things. We did leave behind a gap, which is ideal, I would say, for most of the setups. It's not necessary, it's just something to add for confluence. You can see that we didn't have a big candle closure below. You can see that we had a longer bottom wick, kind of a hammer candle. Same thing when this candle started forming. So I was a little bit aggressive on this one for a couple of reasons. Markets have been pretty bullish lately. SPY and Qs nearing highs, SPY all-time highs. This is a pretty straightforward setup. Now the entry, typically you could wait for a breakout somewhere right here as well. I usually draw like an E for entry on these like low time frame candles. This one I jumped in a little bit earlier just because of the higher time frames, because it's at all-time highs. Trend is there, it's intact. You're kind of just buying the first pullback, right? So that was the idea here. Kind of first pullback, pre-market high retest with the gap. I think this one's pretty straightforward. As for the scaling side of things, this was, I think again, was 30 contracts, and high of day at this point was around 1.5. I don't know if I have the exact entry inside of this area. I got filled around this price. Took the 337.50s, so that was the idea here. It was still out of the money at that point. High of day was around 1.5-ish for my entry, so I took off 60%, around 20 contracts, and then essentially just scaling into strength along the way. I do have the executions here for you guys if you want to check them out in the admin trading floor. That was the idea. Kind of the first candle was able, or the second candle, I say, you pretty much able to scale out some of the trade. The 937 candle, if you entered in on 935. So that was the main idea here. We did hit high of day, took off around 20 contracts, and then as we pushed up, you can see I just basically taking off like two contracts as we push a little bit higher. So that was the main idea for the trade there. Did have it in the pre-market game plan as well. Those were the main watches. Google with pre-market high, Tesla looks well along previous day high, so that was decent. Not really too much else to go through. I still actually have two contracts. I did say I was going to kind of stop out break even, but later into the week we didn't really break low of day at all, so we're still inside of our like daily range, I guess. I do have an alert, and wherever we open up tomorrow, whether we gap up or down, I'll probably make a decision then. I want to say it'll be more neutral. If we do end up gapping up, that'll be good. I have two targets set for 345 and 350. They'll probably just wait to take off those contracts there. Potentially, if we see some strength, I'll sell some when we break previous day high as well. That's probably going to be the plan. Maybe previous day high and then 345. 350 is a little bit of a stretch in my opinion, but if we see strength and there's no reason to kind of sell, we keep holding structure. I'll keep an eye on that as well. I'll just leave that alert. If we break below previous day low, I'll cut the trade then. So that's a little bit about the setup. I think some of you guys also took this trade. This is kind of how I positioned myself and how I took the trade. So I'll have this post for you guys. Hopefully you guys had a decent trading day today. A little bit later, 7 o'clock for the trade review. And yeah, I will catch you guys soon. Peace.